Now that we're back at the camp, I want to talk about what happened at Redcliffe. I just wanted to thank you. You went out of your way to save the Isle's family, and you did it. Even though it would have been easier not to. There's been so much death and destruction. It makes me feel good that at least we were able to save something. No matter how small. I owed the Isle that much. You're right. Hopefully, by that time, there's still enough of Ferelden left to save. Good. Now that the warm, fuzzy part of the day is over with, we can get back to the ritual dismemberments. Oh wait, it's not Tuesday, is it?
How long were you in that cloister, my dear woman?
Just over 2 years. Why do you ask?
And all the brothers and sisters there, they had taken vows?
Most of them, yes.
For 2 years, you had no contact with anyone but men and women who are promised to some uncaring god?
What are you getting at?
Didn't you desire companionship during those 2 years? 2 years! The very thought makes me weak.
My time in the cloister was a time of contemplation. I occupied myself with thoughts of the Maker and other worthy pursuits. But like I said, most of the brothers and sisters had taken vows. Not all of them. Some were just affirmed, like me.
Aha! That is not so bad then.
Nothing happens, Ivran. It would not be right to engage in that behavior in a house devoted to the Maker.
Why? The Maker made us who we are. He made our urges. He gave us these parts. You think he made them for looks?
Denerim. If we have time, I would like to look for Marjolaine. We have a score to settle. Something I can help with? Denerim is Ferelden's most important city, yes? This is the seat of power, the jewel in the crown of the king. She is Ferelden's heart. Her walls are strong, but within them lies so much beauty, just like the country and the people. These markings of yours, they have a certain appeal. They remind me of how we used to paint our faces in Orlais.
Ah, but these are not just paint.
Do they mean anything to you, these symbols?
Some do. Some symbols are sacred to the crows. I am not permitted to tell you what they mean. Others are there to accentuate the lines of the body, its curves and musculature. It is hard to explain with armor and clothing on.
But I don't recall seeing many markings on your body.
Ah, no. Of course not. They are not in the places you have yet seen. I can show you if you wish.
No. I think not.
Is this a problem?
Not at all. I'm merely content looking at the markings on your face, that is all.
Have it your way. Should you change your mind?
You'll be the first to know, don't you worry.
Liliana! Ah, so lovely to see you again, my dear.
Spare me the pleasantries. I know you're...
Oh, you must excuse the shabby accommodations. I try to be a good host, but you see what I have to work with. This country smells like wet dog everywhere. I cannot get the smell out. Even now it is in my hair, my clothes. Ugh. So businesslike, your companion.
You framed me, had me caught, and tortured. I thought that in Ferelden I would be free of you, but it seems I am not. What happened to make you hate me so? Why do you want me dead so badly?
Dead? Nonsense. I know you, my Liliana. I know what you are capable of. 4 or 5 men you can dispatch easily. They were sent to give you cause to come to me. And see, here you are.
Ignore what she says. She's lying. I know how she works. What are you up to, Marjolaine? Why are you in Ferelden?
In truth, you have knowledge that you can use against me. For my own safety, I cannot let you be. Did you think I did not know where you were? Did you think I would not watch, my Liliana? What is she up to, I thought? The quiet life, the peasant clothes, hair ragged and messy like a boy. This is not her. You were planning something, I told myself, so I watched. But no letters were sent, no messages, you barely spoke to anyone. Clever, Liliana, very clever. You almost had me fooled. But then, you left the Chantry so suddenly. What conclusion should I draw? You tell me.
You think I left because of you? You think I still have some plan for revenge? You are insane, paranoid.
Oh, is that what you think? If I were you, I would believe nothing she says. Not a one. She will use you. You look at her and you see a simple girl, a friend, trusting and warm. It is an act.
I am not you, Marjolaine. I left because I didn't want to become you.
Oh, but you are me. You cannot escape it. No one will understand you the way I do, because we are one and the same. Do you know why you were a master manipulator, Liliana? It is because you enjoyed the game. You reveled in the power it gave you. You cannot change or deny this.
Thank you. You will not threaten me or my friends again, Marjolaine. I want you out of my life forever. Leave Ferelden. Go back to Orlais and never return. What you do is no longer my concern.
I see. I will go, for now. But you carry a dangerous secret of mine, Liliana. It is not over. Not for us.
She's gone. I don't know what to think. She said it wasn't over. No, she was lying. She won't come back. I need some time to myself. We will talk later.
As there is but one world, one life, one death, there is but one God, and He is our Maker. They are sinners who have given their love to false gods.
What, no mention of dessert? Surely this is a miracle.
The one who repents, who has faith unshaken by the darkness of the world, and roasts not, nor gloats over the misfortunes of the weak, but takes delight in the Maker's law and creations.
Boasts. It's boasts, sister, not roasts.
She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next.
Peace, sister, peace. She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction.
The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her...
There's no veal in the chant. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Oh, it's not an interruption, dear. We were just finishing up before mealtime. What can I do for you? Praying for the good people of Denerim who've lost loved ones at Ostagar. It's usual to recite a stanza from Transfigurations when you pray for the departed.
It's usual to recite the stanza correctly.
But that's what I said.
Andraste, deliver us. If Her Grace were to hear this.
I wouldn't mess up the words if you wouldn't keep interrupting me. Grand Cleric Elomena understands the importance of concentration, you know.
Her Grace, may the Maker bless her heart, lost her hearing 20 years ago. If she doesn't catch your blasphemous mistakes, it's because she didn't hear them.
Tell you about the chant? What? As if it's a cake you might buy? Well, it's done enough, but a little too much nutmeg for my taste.
Sister, instructing the ignorant is a sacred duty of the Chantry.
Fine, then. What do you want to know? It's the 10th stanza from the Transfigurations. Lovely canticle, that one. Oh, you should have heard Brother Caedmon sing it, though. He had a voice like a bucket full of toads. Revered Mother Boanne, bless her heart, always said, if we had more voices like his, the Maker couldn't fail to take note of us. It was tragic, really. Such a surprise.
We don't speak of that.
He was in charge of the lyrium storehouse. It wasn't good for him, you see. He took off all his clothes in the middle of the chant one summer day and ran into the street. He tripped and fell into the vat of elderberry wine for the feast and drowned. We were 6 days drying him out for his cremation. He looked like a pickled egg. So tragic. Oh, there are some very stirring canticles about doom and wrath.
Darkspawn were created by mankind's second sin, pride. Arrogance became a great caged beast in the lands of Tevinter, an emptiness that consumed all and could never be filled. To satisfy its hunger, the Mage Lords assaulted the Golden City, heart of all creation, to take the Maker's power for themselves.
Why does no one ever sing the good stanzas during chantry services anymore? They speak them. It's called the Chant of Light, not the Speech of Light.
Sister, would you kindly stop messing up the chant?
See how you like being interrupted.
Well, you get the general idea, I'm sure.
It is almost mealtime, isn't it?
Blessings of the Maker and of Andraste, his bride, upon you.
Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright. Oh, my pardon. Just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's Board? I am Sister Justine, curator of the reliquary of this chantry. And pride again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste. I have always been fascinated with history. What better place to indulge that than the birthplace of the Maker's prophet? To be the curator of this chantry and to be so young. I fight a battle with pride, and hopefully the Maker can forgive my occasional defeat. The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics. I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds. My thought exactly, but I'm perpetually amazed at how quickly people accept fantastic claims at face value. A hawker on the street will claim to have an actual finger bone of Andraste. In this city alone, you could make the skeleton of 10 prophets from fingers alone. Curators often accept them as genuine. I worry about the authenticity of even our most holy artifacts. When I was a curator of a much smaller chantry in Orlais, I thought that false relics slipped through because of laziness. But the life of the cloth is never an easy one, and that explanation always seemed hollow to me. Now I believe it's the seduction of the divine. We all want a personal connection to the Maker. We want to believe that what we hold in our hands is the actual sandal that slipped from Andraste's foot before the fires consumed her. Faith is of the heart, not of the head. When the heart is ungoverned by reason, charlatans have powerful tools to deceive. And often close to heretical. But I believe that the truth only increases the awe of the Maker and his prophet, not demean it. Even false symbols have the power to inspire, but it seems every year we fall more out of touch with the real Andraste. Certainly, my research indicates that all of the ashes were gathered into a pot or urn, but it's been lost for centuries. That doesn't stop hawkers from selling pinches of the ashes of Andraste to gullible pilgrims. The real ashes may still be hidden somewhere, though it's possible the urn broke. Well, there's one that might be real. I couldn't prove it wasn't. Perhaps you can understand my skepticism. So many claims, so few truths. You've shown admirable patience listening to my diatribe before. I will not bore you again. Suffice it to say, I look for and authenticate holy relics for the chantry. Of course, enjoy your visit to the chantry.
We have many things in common, Zevran.
Other than our purity and beauty.
We both spent many years in places other than Ferelden. You are an assassin, and I a bard.
Then you were called upon to kill.
Often. I didn't like it, but I did it anyway.
You didn't like it? You didn't like the thrill of the hunt?
I suppose. I did like that. The hunt. Not the killing.
The killing just signals the end of the hunt. Without it, the chase goes on. You killed your marks cleanly, I hope.
Whenever possible.
Good. When the prey is caught, it deserves a good death. A clean death. Perhaps you are right. We have much in common.
In the name of Andraste, Bride of the Maker, be welcome in this house. While the cathedral is closed, if you need to make wedding or funeral arrangements, you'll have to talk to Sister Olma.
Did someone die? I remember a funeral.
King Kalen died, remember? Along with most of the army at Ostagar? Maker guide them all.
That which you fear, living in the shadow of death alone, I have seen it is only a cloud passing before the sun.
The death toll at Ostagar was staggering. We've had a funeral every day for a lost son or daughter of Denerim, and we've many more yet to hold.
Are they singing the chant now? It's a funeral, isn't it?
He should have retired to Valroyo years ago, but he wanted to stay and serve the remainder of his days in his homeland. It's the lyrium that does this. He wouldn't be a Templar anymore.
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter.
He doesn't forget who he is, even if he can't remember anything else. May the light of the Maker guide your steps.
That's my sister's house. I'm almost sure of it. This is the right address. She could be inside. Could we go and see? Do I seem a little nervous? I am. I really don't know what to expect. I'd like you to be there with me if you're willing. Or we could leave, I suppose. We really don't have time to pay a visit, do we? Maybe we should go. Will she even know who I am? Does she even know I exist? My sister. That sounds very strange. Sister. Oh, now I'm babbling. Maybe we should go. Let's go. Let's just go. Do you mind if I ask you a personal question?
You may ask, but I may choose not to answer.
Fair enough. Have you had very many women in your time? I mean, you seem like the sort of man who would...
I have indulged from time to time, perhaps when my interest is not elsewhere.
Right. Well, how do you woo them. Is there a technique or...
Woo them? Are you quite serious?
Yes. I don't know what else to call it.
So let me get this straight. You have never wooed? Not once? You are woo-less, as it were?
All right. Bad idea. Never mind.
Welcome, friends. Welcome to Wade's Emporium. We have the finest armors in Denerim, maybe in all of Ferelden. How may we assist you? You're obviously not from around here. Wade is possibly the most brilliant armorsmith in all of Ferelden.
That's not true, Herin. The dwarves of Orzammar make the finest armors around. These piles of rust droppings you forced me to make are worthless compared to their work. You never let me have the time, the materials to make something special.
Customers expect their armor in a timely fashion, not years late like the last time.
That happened once, just once, and you never let it drop. I am.
Wade owns the Emporium, but without expert assistance and, well, prodding, let's just say the Emporium has improved substantially with our partnership.
But I do miss the good old days. I could really take my time to make quality.
Oh, by all means, you can return to them. And to the gruel you used to fancy.
No. Sorry, Herin.
Come again.
Herin, the bloody customers are bothering me again. What do I pay you for, anyhow?
Sorry. Wade is a genius. Truly, you will be astonished by his work. But he doesn't deal with customers. If you need anything, please ask me.
And tell her I don't want her looking over my shoulders making doe eyes at me either. I'm thinking, blast it all.
Truly sorry, sire. Welcome back. You looking for fine armor? He's eccentric and very particular, but everything he makes is of good, solid quality, no matter what he says about it. The city is full to bursting. With people from the country coming, trade is thriving. Especially those that deal in weapons and armor. Master Wade is especially in demand. Come again.
So I imagine it has been some time for you, Liliana.
Some time for me? I do not know what you mean.
Some time since you last knocked boots, shall we say? You did just come from the cloistered life, no?
Of course it has been some time. There are more important things in life than knocking boots, Zevran.
Oh, I'll not argue that. I simply mean that the body has urges. Urges given to us by the Maker. Yours must be considerable after all that time.
That is a very personal question.
I mean no offense. I simply offer my services should you ever feel the need for release.
Let me think about it then. Should every man in Ferelden suddenly die, you may even have your chance.
Haha, progress.
Hello?
Hey, you have linens to wash? I charge 3 bits on a bundle, you won't find better. And don't trust what that Natalia woman tells you either. She's foreign and she'll rob you blind.
I'm not here to have any wash done. My name's Alistair. Well, this may sound sort of strange, but are you Gordana? If so, I suppose I'm your brother.
My what? I am Goldana, yes. How do you know my name? What kind of tomfoolery are you folk up to?
Yes, I think so. I'm sure of it, in fact. Look, our mother, she worked as a servant in Redcliffe Castle a long time ago before she died. Do you know about that? She...
You! I knew it! They told me you was dead. They told me the babe was dead along with Mother, but I knew they was lying.
They told you I was dead? Who? Who told you that?
Them's at the castle. I told them the babe was the king's and they said he was dead. Gave me a coin to shut my mouth and sent me on my way. I knew it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that. The babe didn't die. I'm him. I'm your brother.
Ugh, for all the good it does me. You killed Mother, you did, and I've had to scrape by all this time. That coin didn't last long, and when I went back, they ran me off. And who in the Maker's name are you? Some tart, following after his riches, I expect.
Hey, don't speak to her that way. She's my friend and a Grey Warden, just like me.
Oh, I see. A prince and a Grey Warden too. Well, who am I to think poorly of someone so high and mighty compared to me? I don't know you, boy. Your royal father forced himself on my mother and took her away from me. And what do I got to show for it? Nothing. They tricked me good. I should have told everyone. I got 5 mouths to feed. And unless you can help with that, I got less than no use for you.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Well, he found it. And what good is that to me? None, that's what. Unless he can see to it that his family lives as it should.
I suppose maybe I could give her some money for my nieces and nephews. 15 sovereigns, maybe? Would you let me give her that? Then here, Goldana, take this money. I know it's not much, but...
You, a prince, marching in here with your fancy armor and such, and this is all you got to offer? You must think I'm very stupid.
No, wait, I don't think that at all. I want to help, if I can.
You want to help? You go to whatever high and mighty folks you run with, and you tell them you've got nephews and nieces that aren't living as they've a right to. You do that!
Yes, great. Thanks for reminding me. And let me promise you this, Goldana. I'll do whatever I can, speak to whomever I have to ensure you and your children are taken care of.
That sounds all well and fine, but you'll have to forgive me if I don't exactly hold my breath.
You have my promise. I can't give you more than that. Let's go. I want to go. Goodbye, sister. Well, that was not what I expected, to put it lightly. I lived up to my promise, I suppose, but this is the family I've been wondering about all my life? I can't believe it. I guess I was expecting her to accept me without question. Isn't that what family is supposed to do? I feel like a complete idiot. Yes, I'm sorry too. I guess I should have known better. Let's just go. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Good day. The market is busy, is it not? Come, rest here. I have the finest selection of flowers and Orlesian-scented oils in all of Denerim. For you, perhaps? The oils are very relaxing in baths, no? And smelling good is not? Ferelden is no longer full of barbarians. People judge with their noses as well as their ears and eyes. But you look more armed than most of my patrons. Perhaps you seek the armorsmith, Wade. Then to the south? He is quite the artiste, yes? I am from Orlais. You've heard of us, no? Denerim is a fine city, but I miss my Varroyo. She's quite beautiful this time of year. What I miss most are the clothes. The avenue of flowers this time of year has so many colors. And the skirts. Fine wools, cloths. Many only the noble-born can afford. Ferelden is more muted. Its fashion's quite old. But I like the people of this city very much. Orlais has many good things, but it is sometimes not so good to be common. My brother had trouble with a chevalier and we departed shortly after. You know so little of Orlais here. The chevaliers are knights of the highest order. They are the most skilled in the world. Their discipline, formidable. For their service, they're allowed privileges. They can do whatever they want to the lesser born. A chevalier took an interest in me. It was his right, but it was unwelcome. Incensed, my brother hit him over the head with a pot. Such a thing is almost treason. We left that very night and came here. That and more. Some revere them for their skill and their high service, but others tread lightly. As lightly as the mouse in the cat's den. If you will excuse me, I feel a touch lightheaded.
So what is it exactly that the Sisters of the Chantry do for amusement?
Do they not have sisters in
Yes.
Antiva, Severin?
Naturally. Yet we are hesitant to speak to the sisters back home. They are at Tia Negrano. How do you say it? Pure, not to be spoiled.
And you would spoil them just by speaking to them?
You really have no idea, do you?
I wasn't born in the Chantry, Severin. Sisters, we had many ways to pass the time. Work, for instance, and prayer.
No time for leisure at all?
I was not there for idle pursuits and pleasures, Severin. I was there to contemplate my relationship to the Maker.
And that's it? Sounds bloody boring.
What did you imagine your Antivan sisters did exactly?
Well, in Antiva, the Chantries make much of the wine, so I suppose I assumed they drank it.
I doubt that very much.
And there goes one childhood dream. To think I once longed to be a brother.
You here to report another crime? I swear we should just cordon off the entire district. Oh, can I help you, Warden? The lower market isn't deemed important by the captain of the guard, even less with Al Howe in charge. So when I finally get the new men I request, I get the delightful surprise of discovering their Lord Such-and-Such's illegitimate, untrained, moronic whelps. But lords keep sending me more of them. It's decent pay, no expectations, a uniform. So I have a legion of bastards to protect the market from pickpockets, stabbings, and whatnot, and Al Howe's specially picked men are the worst of the lot. With the bastards, I just have to worry about dicing, the odd bit of drool, or yelling at them too loudly and hurting their poor feelings, and then getting chewed out by their noble fathers. But I swear, the Arl's men are more criminal than the miscreants we occasionally arrest. Some of them are the criminals we have to arrest. So if your lifeblood isn't draining in the gutters as we speak, don't bother reporting it. Your likeness was passed around to the senior guardsman at the palace. I must say, the sketch didn't do you much justice. Don't worry, even if I believed the official story of what happened at Ostagar, I'm no fool. If I asked my men to apprehend you, they'd all run and cry big sobby tears in their courtesans' bosoms and leave me all alone to be skewered. Don't disturb the peace in the market, and that's well enough for me. What? You're serious? I mean, yes, I could use help. I've got a pretty popular, establishment that's crawling with mercenaries. If I send my boys in, someone might get, Maker forbid, hurt, and I'll have to explain to their noble fathers that being a guard is actually dangerous. The name of the whorehouse is the Pearl. Beat down any mercenaries that are out of line and send them a message. I said beat down, not killed. Let me make that really clear. Not on fire, or exploded, or make a nose, whatever type of grisly death you can dream up. Sorry. Used to giving orders to my boys. Just leave them breathing and I'll be happy. Thank you, Warden. Happy hunting.
You know, Alistair, Antiva has a long tradition of royal bastards.
You don't say.
Oh, yes. They've led wars to claim the throne. Some of them have become kings. In fact, I'd say the current royal line in Antiva stems from bastard blood several times over.
Well, aren't you just chock full of useless trivia today?
Sadly, whenever a royal bastard rears their head in public and declares themselves, it often goes poorly for them.
Let me guess. They get assassinated.
Only the very popular ones.
And the unpopular ones?
Well, they get by somehow, I'm sure. There was one fellow who did quite well working as a prostitute based on his uncanny resemblance to the king. Charged a fortune.
Couldn't afford him, I take it.
That cynicism will serve you well, my friend. Hold on to it.
If you have coin, welcome to our shop. If not, move along. Too many refugees blocking customers. I didn't think so, sir. Too much flesh on the bones. You walk tall, proud, not hunched. Sad times in Ferelden. Better trade cities to the north, but plenty good trade here. Now with war and blight, business is bad. Oh, yes.
Another visitor, the Maester. Enjoy browsing my wares. Master Trader Ignacio, at your service, good sir. My cousin and I have trade connections all along the seaways. We have furniture, silks, carvings, and much more. Cesar handles the trade stock, I handle other affairs. No, I am not. I am a trader at heart. My home is the road. But I was born past the waking sea in Antiva. It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was. On the docks of Rialto, life is cheap. As cheap as the dockside ale and the soiled whores. You can live a longer life out here. And a wise man can make a comfortable fortune in time. Straightforward, predictable danger is refreshing to me. Any moment in Rialto, the streets can run red, and often do. I'd take Darkspawn any day. At least you can see them coming. No. Not yet. Perhaps one day. It has been many, many years since I have seen her. But the road is a better mistress than my home city ever was. Luck be to you, Warden.
So, are you a very religious man, Alistair? I'm curious. I believe I heard you say you were raised in an abbey.
I was raised in a castle. I was schooled in the abbey. As far as being religious, I don't know. Not especially. What about you? Not in your line of work, I expect.
Why do you say that? I happen to be quite devoted in my way, as most Antivans are.
Truly? But you kill people. For money.
And I ask forgiveness for my sins from the Maker every chance I get. What manner of monster do you think I am?
But you ask forgiveness and then you go right on with your sinning.
The Maker has never objected. Why should you?
I have no idea.
Well, there you go. Perhaps you ought to think about asking for a little forgiveness yourself, huh? I recognize you. From Ostagar. Andraste's blood. You're a Grey Warden. Duncan's apprentice. You killed my friend. And good King Cailan. I demand satisfaction, sir. So you would compound slander on top of treason? You dare smear Terran Loghain's word? I do not like your tone, sir. But you may be right. I may regret this, but I cannot duel someone who may be guiltless. Leave, Warden. If I find proof, we will meet again.
Look at what that woman's wearing. Is she drunk, or does she just have bad taste?
My shift's nearly over. Thank Andraste.
So those designs you have all over your back,
they're called tattoos, and I have them in many more places than just on my back, my friend.
Right. I hear that someone gets those by having needles put the ink under your skin.
A great many needles, amongst other things, yes. That would be true.
Didn't that hurt?
Oh, yes, yes. But it is not so bad, in truth. If you like, I could give you one. I learned a bit of the art myself in Antiva.
Oh, no. No, I don't think so.
Come, it will just be a small one. Perhaps the symbol of the Grey Wardens. Something manly. Where are my needles?
Maybe some other time. I'm going to go stand over here now.
You hear about a note? Maybe we have some things we can talk about.
Just see the conversation stays civil. If this is a trap,
Zevran, is it? You are Talisan's responsibility. Other crows may try to kill you, but in my eyes, you're already dead. So, you are of no notice. But the warden here, she is of great interest to me. I can't stress enough that I wasn't hired to do anything. An associate was, and he's failed. And failed badly.
I'd like to see you do any better.
Do you take me for a fool? That's a contract I'd never take. A client can always hire more help if the job isn't done the first time. But I am hoping we can make sure that doesn't happen.
I've only heard of the one time the entire House of Crows was hired for a job. A princely sum changed hands and an entire noble family died. Not one soul survived. Ignacio has the right of it. Generally, it is one master, one job.
Ferelden is a busy place. Blight, civil war, other mayhem. Lots of people not getting along. Sometimes they really don't get along. Maybe want to do something about it. The people that handle that sort of thing can get real busy. I see. Then we are wasting time. No offense meant. Talk to Caesar back at our stall if you want to buy something. No hard feelings, right?